What up, y'all? Trey Hustles back again with another video. This video is going to be on communication within your team, shit like that. Um, so we're going to start off with the fact that you can't build a good business with bad communication. So let's get right into it. Why communication gets harder as a business grows. So as your business grows, like in the beginning, this was going to happen. You're going to get in there, you're going to put everything together, you're going to make all these little systems for yourself, and you and maybe your wife or your family or your first maybe employee or two, they might know the systems to the T, right? But then as the business gets older and busier, what's going to happen is you're going to outgrow all those little systems, and then it's going to make it hard when you bring new people into the systems because the systems aren't documented and the systems haven't really been vetted to make sure that it's easy for other people to execute, because not everybody's going to understand everything at the level that you understand it. Okay? So the more managers you get, the more crew leaders, team leaders you have, the more crew staff you have, the easier it's going to be for shit to get, miscommunicated, bottlenecks to happen and shit like that. Okay. Problem with random communication is, let's say we need to get a sauce prepped. We're running out. We need to get it prepped by the end of lunch. But before dinner rush is gonna happen, we need to get that shit prepped, because we try not to prep shit during lunch rush. So how are we gonna execute that? We're just gonna yell out, hey, we need to prep aioli? Hell no. If we do that, that's gonna create a horrible bottleneck. So instead, what kind of shit do I do? What kind of systems do I put in place? Right? So what I do is, in my restaurants, when the first person who comes in to open, whether it's a manager or a crew leader, when they get in, they might turn everything on, get all the equipment going, start getting things heated up and shit. But as team members come on, someone's getting assigned to prep. Somebody's getting assigned to prep. You know what I'm saying? And that person who's assigned to prep knows to go grab the fucking prep sheet off the wall, walk around, touch every fucking item, and make sure that we have enough to get through at least the day. Okay? If we have enough to get through the day, and we have other more pressing preps that must get done, then that shit goes on the unimportant part of the prep sheet. You know what I'm saying? Any critical items, them shits get done first, okay? So that's how we handle that. We have a system for that shit. We have a prep sheet. So whoever comes onto the shift, they know they gotta get that prep sheet done. You know what I'm saying? So don't assume that the message got passed down that we need aioli. The prep sheet's done. The prep sheet's went through. Whoever's coming on shift, whatever time they're coming on shift, the first thing we do, if you're not going right onto the line, right onto a cash register, and if you get assigned to prep, the first thing you're gonna do is go check that prep list, right? And then you're gonna see on there what shit is urgent. If it's not done, then you do the urgent shit. Okay? So that's number one. That's how we nip that shit in the butt right there. You know what I'm saying? So another thing that I use is group chats. Why I use group chats? I like to use group chats for quick updates, shift coverage, daily reminders, urgent issues, keeping my managers, my crew leaders, and my team members looped into any changes or anything that's going on. That's how we make sure that everybody gets the message. We don't just start a fucking, what is it called, a keychain message or whatever, chain message, some shit, where you just tell your manager and then you hope they tell everybody. Yeah, that shit ain't gonna work, okay? That's gonna get messy really, really fast. Everybody's gonna think everybody knows until you find out that somebody doesn't know. But if we post that shit in the group chat and everybody, responds and says, puts a thumbs up in that bitch, and we know everybody got the message, okay? And we can always have somewhere to direct everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like at the beginning of a shift, like, hey, we have some new changes come out. Check the group chat, and you know, bring yourself up to speed and shit. You feel me? All right. So another thing that we use for communication in my businesses is software. Okay. Now, why software matters is because let's say you still doing the old school way, writing fucking schedules on the wall on a board or on a piece of paper, and you printing that shit out, right? That means any changes, that shit is scrabbled in. That shit is whack. You know what I'm saying? Get you a fucking software like 7 Shifts or Sling or whatever, QuickBooks. Any of these programs that are worth their salt, they're gonna have some type of scheduling thing that you could put everybody in. You know, if you need somebody's phone number, you can go right to it, pull their number up. Shit, in 7 Shifts, you can even, I think you can initiate the phone call in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? But you could direct message. You could do a lot with just a scheduling software. Task list. I used to have a task list software. I got rid of that shit, and now I just have different chats inside of 7 Shifts that I use for different things. I have a manager chat. I have a checklist chat where they just drop the checklists off. Because I used to have a software where they went through and it was digital on the phone, and they went through on the phones and did the checklist, and then they signed it on there and everything, right? Once they got it completed, boom, they completed the checklist. Then I got rid of that shit. It was like $100. I said, fuck it, man. I just took those same checklists, laminated them, put them there, made that group chat. So now that shit don't cost me $100. We just fill out the checklist. And they're laminated. We just wipe them off every night. And yeah, at the end of the night, the manager or shift leader takes photos of each station's checklist, certifying that everything got done, and we move on, okay? We have any issues, we can go back to the checklist and see who closed or opened or did whatever the fuck, and if it wasn't right, we can go back and we know who to retrain, all right? Announcements, same thing. We have group chats, managers, team leaders, and everybody, okay? Any training documents, what I do for training documents is I make the sheets, laminate them, and I put them in a 3-ring binder. And every station has its training, every station has its own manual. So the training stuff is for each station is in that manual, okay? So breaking down like recipes, build charts, portions and shit like that. They need to see that. We have cheat sheets that they can see at a glance, but when we hire someone new in, we want them to get the detailed view of the build out of each dish. So we have them study those. They're right in the book. You just go to Sam's, you can get like a 5-pack of 3-ring binders for like $7 or something. Get those, laminate go get a 3-hole punch from like Goodwill or the Ark or some shit. All right. If you go to fucking Office Depot, they're gonna charge you like $50 for a 3-ring hole punch. You go to fucking Goodwill and get that shit for $2. All right, free game for y'all. All right, so same thing with like inventory notes, manager logs, shift notes, any of that shit. Accountability. If we want to give anybody, you know, we want to big up anybody, we want to give anybody props. We have a chat for that shit too, you know what I'm saying? Where everybody gives each other props for helping each other, keeping positive. You know, the other day we had a guy, he was kind of feeling down, and he came in, and one of the other employees like kind of got him, you know, gave him some energy and shit, and he thanked them in there. You know, that shit, you know, having an easy way for your team to communicate, you know, in and out of work is fucking great. You know what I mean? So I definitely do like having some type of software to communicate. I wouldn't go too crazy. Always go back, you know, every quarter and evaluate your software. See what you're using. You know, see what you're using. If you guys aren't using it, try to get everybody using it. If not, man, fucking cancel that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So how I communicate with my manager, my crew leaders. I got chats for both. I even got a chat for my regular crew members and shit. So any messages that need to go out to them folks, they get them. They're right there. Announcements, anything. Okay. We put it there. If anything changes, station standards, shift expectations, anything that changes, we just go in there and say, hey, this is a change we're making. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Acknowledge, please, so we know everybody got the message. All right. So how do we keep open communication without losing control? So, like I said, we use our 7-ship chat. You can create new chats. You can put people in it, out of it, however you want. Okay? Like my manager's chat is manager's chat. Crew leaders chat is crew leaders up to management. Okay? Then I have one where everybody can see. All right? So, if I need somebody to, like, if I feel like somebody, needs to step it up, or they're not trained right or anything, or they don't understand, I can just message them and ask them. I can sometimes even look at my cameras, and if I say, hey, he doesn't look that confident over there while he's using that piece of equipment, I say, hey, maybe we need to give him some training on that piece of equipment, blah, 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 whatever, right? So I also have a portion of the chat where if they have any suggestions or ideas and shit like that, they can put that shit so I can see it, because sometimes you don't have the best idea. Sometimes your team might come up with some shit that can change the game for the business, and you should always be open to that type of shit, okay? So some of the biggest lessons that I learned is to make sure, just period, to have open lines of communication with your employees, with your team, so you know what's going on, because you can have I've had incidents where, if other employees were talking explicitly to other employees, then they wasn't, into that shit or whatever. So I've had that happening, you know what I'm saying? And if your employees know that, hey, you're just a fucking chat message away, then, that might give them a sense of safety. You know what I mean? Whereas you might have an employee quit over that shit, because I've had an employee quit over that shit. So that's why I have the chat and the open, you know what I'm saying? If anything, if something seems wrong to you, message me. All right? That's always the protocol with my shit. All right? What are the other biggest things I learned? Train your managers on how to communicate, not to just like react. You know what I'm saying? Train your managers to, you know what I'm saying? If they don't have the answer, tell them, hey, give me a moment. Let me finish what I'm doing right now. Let me get back with you with the right answer. Shit like that, okay? But yeah, the more your business grows, the more your communication has to be intentional, all right? So, I would say, so my advice for other operators and owners is, have an official manager chat, and then also have, a chat for, all your employees where everybody can put their input, and then also make sure that they can also DM you if, need be, and if it's important enough for them to have to come to you, because you want everybody to feel like they can come straight to you, and you don't want your managers to be 100% filter from your rest of your employees to you. You want them to kind of be a filter. You always want your employees to feel like they can go to their managers too, and they're going to be heard. Okay, but I would say, yeah, manager chat definitely. Have a team announcement thread. Use software for scheduling and for tasks. I would say if you don't want to use software for tasks, like I got rid of that shit, then just make the laminated checklist and then use a chat for turning them in. That shit's worked really good for me. I had a buddy who his thing was he just had them email that shit. You know what I'm saying? So whatever works for you, figure it out, use it. Keep your SOPs. all your recipes, all your recipe cards, your bill sheets, all that shit. Make sure that shit is easily findable. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I use the 3-ring binders for all my shit. There's a book on each station. You can look up right where the gloves are. There's a fucking book right there. It tells you how to run the whole station. I can pretty much hire a decently experienced cook, put him on a station, and within about an hour he should be able to run that station flawlessly. Not master level like if I jumped on it, but at least enough to get through a moderate rush within, I would say within a couple of shifts. Actually, let's say within a couple of shifts, because you got to get the muscle memory down. So that shit has worked really good for me, having the binders with everything in them. I even use AI to help me build the binders, and maybe one day I'll do a little video showing you guys how I use AI to build the SOPs and the trainings and shit like that. Okay. And then also you want to get you a fucking, even if it's just a free Zoom. Get you a free Zoom account. It don't even matter, and then that way you can just have your manager meetings on Zoom in the morning before anybody has to be at work. You can go ahead and just, hey, Zoom. That means like I've been on a Zoom meeting with my manager while they were dropping off their kids to school and shit, or to daycare or whatever, right? We'll go over the numbers, we'll talk, whatever. We'll get the fuck off the Zoom call. But we gotta have these meetings. We gotta look at these numbers. We gotta go over these goals. We gotta do this shit. All right. So, if you want to scale, you have to stop communicating with your team like a one-unit operator. If you want to scale to multiple locations, you gotta start acting and mimicking what unit operators do, all right? Or you're gonna get left behind, and that shit is only gonna be, a one location business forever. You feel me? So you gotta start moving like you're gonna have 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 12, 15, 20 locations. You know what I'm saying? And once you build out that first location with the SOPs and the communication lines and all the software, then if you use the same concept, you just copy and paste. I have different food concepts, but I copy and paste the systems to each one. Okay. Let's see. All right, one last thing. Remember, all these things are just components to help your shit get better. Nothing is gonna be a cure-all, okay? So use all this stuff to communicate with your team. You gotta go through it. You gotta use this shit and try shit out. Don't be scared to put some shit in and take some shit out, because sometimes that shit just don't work for you. So my thing is, when I'm looking at like a software or a tool, how easy is it for me to implement, and how easy is it for me to get rid of it? That's what I'm looking at. How easy? Are they trying to lock me into a contract for 2 fucking years? Fuck no, I'm not signing up. If it's a long commitment, I ain't signing up. If it's a month-to-month commitment, I'll sign up, because if I use the shit for a month and I hate it, this shit is gone. It's canceled. Shit, I'll cancel that shit before the trial. I love the ones that give you free trials, because I'm canceling before the trial is even over. All right? So I wrote down some little points and shit. I'm going to go through them, and then it's going to be the end of the video. You feel me? So check this out. Bad communication creates fake problems. All right? If your team keeps making the same mistake, you have to ask yourself clearly, did I actually communicate it clearly? Ask yourself, did I communicate with that person in a way that they understand it? Do it seem like they caught it? Because if they didn't catch it, I need to reword it. I need to rebring it. I might need to show them. All right? So a group chat can help, but it can't carry the whole business. All right? So What I'm saying is, having a group chat doesn't mean that you can skip your meetings and shit. That doesn't mean that you don't need to have your SOPs written out, laminated in a book, or on one of these platforms or whatever. Okay, if that's what you want to do. All right. The bigger the team gets, the more written systems matter. Okay. So while it's just you and your girl, or you and you and your by yourself, or you and like maybe two or three other people, and y'all got the shit down, and y'all roll, and y'all got that shit down pat. That's cool. But here's the thing: when your shit starts scaling up, you start doing, you know, bigger numbers. Like, I'm talking about like thousands a day. When you start doing thousands and thousands a day, and you selling hundreds of tickets a day, that shit is different. It needs to be smooth. All right. Another thing, man, you can't scale off memory. Yeah, but these people, they don't know your business. You created this shit. You came up with everything. They don't know. Write that shit down, laminate it, put it somewhere where they can get to it, so you can keep working. Everybody can keep working while they go look in the book. If they can't fucking read and learn it from the book, fire their ass. A manager should never have to guess what you want as an owner. Okay, the expectation should be clear. The expectation should be reinforced every fucking week. So if your manager acting like they don't understand, then you might have to have that. You really need to have them fucking meetings every week, so you can go over the numbers. Like, hey, this is the goal. The goal is 30%. Hit 30%. You know what I'm saying? Hit it. Let's go. I'm giving you the tools. You need more tools? Let's figure out what tools. But let's hit the 30%. All right? So, crew leaders are the bridge between management and execution. Okay? So your managers pretty much should be like an extension of you. Your crew leaders should be an extension of your managers. So your crew leader should damn near be in manager form. You feel me? Like, your crew leader should be damn near at the manager's level. If they're not ready for that shit. You need to give them some more training. Okay? That's pretty much all I got to say, man. So, yeah. Get your communication game up. Step that shit up one more time. Peace.